started, let's take a look at this quick overview of what you can expect in V700.
First thing we're going to show, we're going to go ahead and jump to the game cam, is those of you who mentioned in actually the Marvel Feature Fight forum, is actually a change to the UI itself. So of course, as you see here, we have the maker taking up a good portion of the screen here. But of course, there are several different changes with the UI. The point of the anniversary, not point of anniversary, but one of the things you wanted to do in the anniversary, the team wanted to make sure everything was a little bit more comfortable and easy, a little more easy in the eyes. So we definitely want you guys to just take a look around. Again, we won't go into too much. We want you to be able to explore many of this yourself. But some things you can just see how, again, the store, team, and inventory is on the right side of the screen. We'll take a look at just the team menu here again. Things just look very different, very changed. Again, we have, of course, we have the three characters, which we'll be going over later. We go back to the home screen. There's Professor X. You can see the inventory. It's on the left, instantly right there on the screen as well. So you guys can go ahead and take a look. Like I said, we're not going to go into everything right now. We want you guys to be able to have fun exploring on your own. So you guys can look forward to that. So we look forward to seeing what your feedback is regarding the new UI change. Go ahead and take a look, starting with Reed Richards, the maker.
All right.
All right, the maker is all set to go. A couple basic attacks. Sweet. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at his first skill. This is the expanded hammer fist.
All right. I get why they call it that.
Pretty basic. It's a stunning attack. He just kind of does a lariat and just kind of moves towards the opponent. Next up is the elastic net.
Whoa.
Let me move over to these guys over here.
Yeah.
So like he kind of extends his finger and just kind of lacerates his opponents. As you can see, it causes a little bit of bleed damage.
There's something scary about that. I don't know. Nice details there.
This is the third skill now. This is referred to as the rubber cannon. I had to take a few look at this because it's a little bit confusing at visually what it is he does. So at first he jumps in the air, just kind of barrages the enemy with his fists. And if you can look at it one more time, it looks like he extends his neck and then just kind of, headbutts his opponent. So take a look at this. Bam! That's referred to as the rubber cannon. So I guess the cannon part is just part of his, just the way he just takes his head and just launches it directly at his opponent. So this is skill 4. I'm actually going to go ahead and redo this because the enemies aren't really in focus on that one. Let me reset that. This is his fourth skill. This is the Mad Bombardment.
Whoa.
This is a binding. Let me try it one more time again. Get it from this angle. This is a bind attack that kind of snares the enemy. And this will also increase your overall attack and your speed. Like one more time.
There's just something
Get some cannons going.
evil about this. Yeah, good job.
Next is the fifth skill. This is the Sphere of Insanity.
Oh, I get it.
It just kind of rolls over the opponent. Let's go ahead and do this one more time. Surrounds the enemy, goes to the ball, rolls them over, and just messes them up. One more time again. This is another binding attack. Yeah, this actually ignores a good percentage of your enemy's overall dodge rate, in addition to actually just penetrating their overall defenses. This is the fourth skill. Yeah, and just because we can, we have the T3 rolled up. Let's just see how T3 looks in with this uniform.
Cool.
All right, and there you have it.
All right, thanks, Cage. Let's move on to our next uniform.
That's right. Next uniform on our list is depends on who you ask. My personal favorite, we have the Superior Iron Man, actual skills. So I mentioned he has 4 new skills. First skill is the Twin Blade, but again, those of you who'd have his endgame skill, you'll notice not much of a difference there. Yep. So next up is the new skill. This is skill number 2, which is the Flare Launcher.
Well, that was surprising.
That attack goes pretty fast. Let's try it again.
Yeah.
This is an energy and burn attack. You can just launch this in the air, gives them a good repulsor blast. Boom.
Yeah.
Right, fun, pretty fun. We're gonna do
I like that
skill. So those of you who are fans of the comic like me, you'll take a look at this. This is referred to as the Iron Drone. So those of you who remember the comic for Superior Iron Man, he had drones that he would use to survey. He used the drones for different purposes, but yeah, these are some of the drones as you can see. So these drones actually cause paralysis while also increasing your all attack, and also giving you a little bit of damage immunity.
Wow.
There you get some good.
It really has a wide net, doesn't it?
You can use that as a pretty hefty buff. I'm gonna go ahead to these poor souls over here. I'm gonna use skill number 4, which is the Superior Strike. Yeah, so after hovering in the air for a little bit, he then jumps up, comes in and gets him with that almost like a photon axe. Take a look at that one more time.
It was like an action pose of swinging a huge sword or an axe or something.
Yep, this attack does shock damage. We're going to go ahead and take a look at skill number 5.
Whoa. Whoa, it just keeps going.
So just with that attack alone, Kim, what do you think the name of this skill is called?
I know what the name of the skill is called.
Oh, you do already? Oh, okay. That kind of ruins the fun of it already.
It kind of kills it, doesn't it?
This is referred to as the Reinforced Unibeam, not just Unibeam, it's the Reinforced Unibeam. So it actually is,
I should have teased you and just said, oh, it's one beam, so I would call it the Unibeam. And
you probably would have had me too.
It's reinforced. Damn, should have tricked you.
This is an energy-based attack that actually grants 100% or 50 to 100% increased damage for the following attack. So once you go ahead and use this attack, your next attack will get a 50 to 100% buff. So you can choose whatever attack to link that with. Use it wisely. All right, and just because we already have the T3 warmed up. Let's take a look to see how it looks with the T3 active.
Whoa.
Yeah. And that does it for the Superior Iron Man. Of course, we still have plenty more to go over. Next up, as you already saw, Professor Xavier has a nice little feature there. So we're going to go into more details. So you can go ahead and take a look and judge for yourselves.
All right.
All right, he's all set to go. Chair's all powered up. Mine's all set to go. Let's go. So again, that's the basic attack. So we're going to go ahead and start skill 1. Again, a lot of these attacks aren't really new. They just have a couple minor tweaks. So let's take a look at this one. So many of these attacks are going to be the same. Again, this is memory manipulation. Similar to the mental shock, but the only difference is that it decreases the mind blast or mind resistance by about close to 30%. However, it also does a little bit, it takes 80% away from the energy attack to deal mind damage. Take a look at skill number 2, which is the mental disruption. Again, pretty similar to.
It's much better than your car.
Yep, that would make sense. So for mental disruption, again, it's just a skill that decreases your enemy speed and mind resistance while dealing about 35% mind damage. The only difference in this one, I remember I double checked this, is that here he lurches forward, where in his previous uniform he moves backward. So again, just minor tweaks. This is more for fun. This is skill 3. This is the energy wave. Again, this is similar to the brainwave warp in his original uniform, but the only difference also is that it does 30% damage. It grants 30% additional damage for your next attack. Next, we're going to take skill 5, which is mind over matter.
Whoa. They look like they've had their minds blown.
I see what you did there. So again, similar to mind over matter skill with the previous uniform. The only difference is if you notice, like visually, just the little effects at the bottom there are just it's different. Again, we look forward to your opinions. For those of you who are fans of like myself, of the similar to the animated character look, there's something for you to look forward to. And that does it for some of the new uniforms.
Oh, you said some in such a strange way, but we'll get back to that soon.
So we have some fantastic new uniforms for that. And of course, we have to take a look here. That is Mephisto. We'll go over him in just a moment. But we have some of the classic new uniforms for the Fantastic Four. We have it for the Human Torch, Invisible Woman, and the Thing. So of course, in addition to uniforms, these characters also have awakened skills. So again, we don't have to go through all of them. So we're going to go ahead and just take a look at Invisible Woman's skills.
Hmm.
It's all set to go. Again, the skills are similar. Again, are similar to the Future Foundation uniform. The only difference is there actually is an awakened skill. So we're going to go ahead because again we have a lot to go over. We're just going to jump straight into the awakened skill. So for the Invisible Woman, we have the Force Field Fury, and again, of course, you see the multitude of the other Fantastic Four skills. Take a look at that one more time.
I love watching a team work together.
Of course, we have a variety of effects going on. So this, both Human Torch, Invisible Woman, and the Thing have their own unique skills. You can take a look at that on your own, and we look forward to seeing what you guys have to say about it. So that does it for the new uniforms. We're going to go ahead and take a look at team number 2, which is Mephisto. A sneak peek, a sneak peek of a sneak peek. So we have the King of Hell now joining us.
Okay. Menacing.
All right, he's all, look at him in his infamous glory, his insidious ways. So this is just his basic attack. This is his basic attack I'm just doing, by the way. I thought it was unique. He's literally just, I can't tell if he's snapping or if he's just pointing. It's giving a little bit of a type of deal. Boom. Anyway, I thought that was cool. Let's move on to his first skill, though, which is the Hellfire Pillar. Basic, but still does quite a good amount of damage. Take a look at that one more time. So this does at least 30% damage for every second that it's active. Let's take a look at that again. To 30% burn damage.
Nice, nice, nice.
Also remove any active buffs on your opponent. This is skill number 2, which is the Evil Inferno. Take that again. Does a little bit of a stun there, and of course all those attacks are burn damage. Don't need to. It's kind of a given there.
It's just a lot.
Another skill that removes buffs on your opponents, doing burn and stun. So this is the skill that's a little bit unique and ties into his passive we mentioned earlier. This is referred to as the Dark Awakening. Now you kind of have to notice something a little bit different. Does he look a little bit different to you?
Yeah, he looks enormous.
That's right. He's now referred to as a giant. I guess the stat now changes to giant. So of course his basic attack changes as well. But what makes this unique is, so for example, you can see on his part of his passive, he does increase damage to superheroes. That's kind of by default. I'm going to go ahead and change it back, use the skill again, and switch back to Fiend. This is referred to as Fiend when he's normal. Let me go ahead and go back. So when he's Fiend, he does damage, damage to the superhero faction. However, when we use the skill again, the Dark Awakening, and what's referred to as Giant, is referred to as Demonized, he now does damage to supervillains. So according to the developers, what makes this more special is that he's pretty well-rounded in the sense where when he's in Fiend mode, he can do good damage in PvP, but if you want a little bit more of an advantage in PvE, just go ahead and use that skill, and you'll be able to do some good damage there.
He's a villain among villains.
That's right.
Super villains, as it were.
Can't trust him. He's on all sides. This is skill number 4. I'm going to actually revert back to his Fiend form. Because one of his skills actually looks different, but we'll talk more about that later. This is the Burning Nightmare. Alright, we can go ahead and go. I'm going to reset this over here so I can get everybody rounded up.
They do seem like they're having a nightmare.
So the Burning Nightmare causes stun, fear, in addition to decreasing their overall defense while increasing your overall attack, speed, attack, and defense. I said speed twice. That's because you go twice as fast.
Yes.
So I'm going to go ahead and use this skill now. This is skill number 5.
Ooh.
I just like the effect of just having the different hands, just kind of bringing your opponents into the underworld, because that's what it's called. It's called the Underworld Explosion. Fun stuff. But here's the thing. So I'm actually going to do the skill again, but first I'm actually going to switch it to the Giant mode. I'm going to do the skill again. It looks a little bit different now. The hands are gone. It's just a giant tornado inferno that's going on, that's consuming your opponents. Let's do it again. Let's bring that flame up. Take enemies down. Yeah. And that's it for that. However, of course, is it really everything? It's not, because we have, of course, T3. Let's go ahead and start.
What a surprise! Whoa! That is a surprise.
Right, those of you who've been playing, of course, the World Boss Legend will recognize that form. This is referred to as Soul Finality. Let's go ahead and take a look how it looks with the T3. So again, a multitude of effects happening. We have silence skills such as silence, incapacitation, decreasing the enemy's overall defense while increasing your HP recovery by up to 30%. Also ignores a good percentage of your opponent's dodge rate while penetrating their defense and increasing your overall attack for up to 20% for your next additional attack. No, again, this is the update that keeps on giving. So for those of you who've seen the forum as well, again, we do have one additional mission set added to this update. So a lot of players were kind of confusing, thinking if it was similar to the deploy missions in the Shield Lab. Understandable, but it's not exactly the same. So as you can see here, we have story missions, dimension missions, epic quests, but there's a little something new, and that is dispatch missions. So a little bit of a heads up, because I was testing this mode a little bit earlier, and this mode, again, this is a test build just specifically made for this live stream. So some of the features aren't exactly, will not be perfected until the live version, and sometimes there might be a little bit of freezing as I'm going over this, so just bear with me as I'm going to try to explain some of the features in this update. So as you can see, I currently only have 3 missions currently open for this. So how this works is that we have a variety of different missions all across here, and there's different things that comes with it. So I'm going to go ahead and tap on the first one here. Here you can select a team up to your pre-selected team of characters, and what makes it different also is that when you play, is that you actually have the ability to there is no cooldown when actually switching out characters. So of course you can see also again, it seems similar to story missions, but again it's a little bit different. We're going to go ahead and demonstrate that. Okay, so I'm going to do this do a little bit of manual play.
Looks good. A lot of familiar moves going on.
Get some buffs going too. So again, as you can see, my 2 other teammates are actually already on screen. They're already doing damage on their own. And again, as I mentioned, there's no cooldown when switching to opponents. I'm actually going to do a skill that's going to require some skill animations. While he's doing that, I'm switching to the Maker. Fortunately, all my teammates are killing the enemies before I can get to them to be able to do my skills. You can switch out. I'm going to switch to Professor X, who's still rolling behind back here. Look at him trucking on that chair. We're going to take on Ultron, who is already down. But again, this is an earlier stage, so again, enemies are going to go down a lot faster than anticipated. Switching out to the Maker. Okay. Pretty simple. We got we can just simply shows and displays just the simple items there. Again, the rewards are not exactly going to be the same when we're doing live build. Anyways, so this is something basic in terms of being able to complete. So what makes it different, again, we mentioned this dispatch mission. So it's a mix of being able to both acquire new rewards in addition to both playing, and also you don't have to necessarily be active and playing this too. So again, it sounds a little bit confusing with what I'm trying to say, but this is why. So you look on the top right screen, portion of my screen, and you'll see this mentions growth grade or dispatch. I'm going to go ahead and click this button here, and you can notice that there is a variety of slots here. So I already have currently 3 characters displayed because I was playing this mode earlier, and what this actually plays into is actually you're able to gain additional rewards when not having to actually actively play. You can actually just, what it is, again, it's either dispatch missions where you actually can just dispatch your heroes and go on doing about your own, your own business, your own busy day, and all this time your heroes are actually gaining additional rewards. Now the rewards are going to actually differ depending on the combat power. As you can see here on the left corner of the screen, it says growth grade. It's the bonus supply at 10%, and as you can see on the right hand side, it says I could get possibly 110 gold per minute. And just to that, I'm going to click this little button here to display. I can also gain additional rewards as well. So I'm actually going to go ahead and increase that. So again, that's not really a lot of rewards. The combat power, again, is pretty weak. So I'm actually going to go ahead and unequip these guys. And I gain about, a measly 6,000 for, 490 gold. That's nothing. So I'm actually, what I want to do, I want to be able to gain, more rewards from this set. So I'm actually going to auto equip for this set for a second. And if you notice the combat power, exponentially increased, I'm actually going to dispatch them. Sweet. And now, and as you notice, the gold actually increased to 120 gold per minute. Again, not all these rewards and the numbers, they aren't exact, so they may differ in the actual live build. So these are something to look forward to later on. So again, the whole purpose of this is being able to provide you additional missions and additional ways to actually obtain rewards. Again, some of the rewards aren't the same as what's being displayed here on this screen. So I actually gained a little bit of rewards here, as you can see. The reason being is because of, when I was testing the mode out earlier, I actually had other characters equipped. Make sure I'm not looking at the wrong screen here. Yes. So yeah. Again, the notes I have actually are kind of minimal in terms of what to explain for this mode, and also you can look for more details regarding how this game mode actually plays out on the patch notes when it gets closer to the time when it goes live. So that's something for you all to look forward to. So this is a game mode. The purpose of this mode is to gain more rewards, both actively and passively. So this is a good way to be able to make use of the characters that you haven't really used before. Or, you know, so there you go.
All right. Thank you so much, Cage, for showing us that. I can't wait to see how people end up using this function. Let's move on to our next section. Now, off the top, I did mention that we are going to talk a little bit about some of the questions we posed to you earlier and your answers about your favorites there. Let's move on over to this other screen. Yes, and of course, you know, there's always more to come. As the sneak peek team has taught us, there is always something available for the eagle-eyed Marvel Future Fight fan. You know, you just never know what might pop up. So please stand by. Please stay tuned to all that we have coming in the future.
Also, I gotta say, I feel a little bit cheated because or a little bit offended because not once I wore this special uniform for, you know, the anniversary. Uniform. I can call it. I was gonna say alphabet. I said, hey, you know, MFF. Why not go ahead and just use the terminology? You know, I got all dressed up. Not once did I get a single comment, not a single compliment from you.
Cage, I'm very sorry that I didn't give you the attention you deserve. You are a vision in red. You look great, my friend.
I'll take that.
All right. Well, I'm gonna, you know, I think that is actually it now. So I hope everyone really enjoys the 6-year anniversary and all the events that are coming surrounding it, everything that is coming to the game very soon. Thank you all for being a huge part of this year and every year and the future going on. Till next time, agents.
Happy anniversary.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Here we go.